out they lost, but they had a couple kicking errors. They had one punt that was blocked. Run a whole lot of option schemes. This team will. They had some, but they didn't have a lot. This team will come out and will pretty much major in the option with maybe a few other plays that would make you be honest. You know, the reverse type plays, those kinds of things. So we'll have to really be ready to play a great game. We've had a good week of practice, and I think defensively we'll have a lot of intensity, and we'll just have to see how well we can do.
Now to change the table just a little bit, defensively, what kind of things do you think they'll try to do to stop you?
Well, they play what we call a reduced package, John. It probably won't mean a whole lot to the fans, but they take their defensive tackle and they put him over the guard. So they usually have a bigger person than you would have at offensive guard. And then they take their defensive end and they maybe will slide him down and play him over the tackle on one side. On the other side, it's like a 5-2 defense, tackle on tackle, end on end, and guard is covered by the linebacker. And then they don't stunt very much, but they have good mobility. They start a freshman linebacker, Hollowell, who's an excellent player. He's their leading tackler. They have what I would consider to be an excellent secondary. They're the #1 defensive team in the conference versus the pass. I think they're giving up maybe 118 yards a game passing, that's all. So I think that speaks well for them. And they try to play a pressure-type coverage where they're going to walk up on you and try to disrupt your patterns as much as possible. And they've done an excellent job of it.
Have you made any specific changes this week to maybe open up some bigger holes for you?
Well, you know, it still boils down to being able to block and being able to maintain that block, and I would hope that we can do a better job as far as our blocking is concerned. I hope that we can give our backs some opportunity to run and make the secondary people make the tackles. We've not done that nearly enough this year. Offensively, we've not changed our offense much at all. We've just worked really hard against the things that we think they're going to do. Now, they could come out and play a whole different scheme on us, and you'd have to do a whole lot of work on the sideline, but they're a well-coached team, and I think an awful lot of Coach Darnell and his staff, and it'll be a fun game because the game will be played between the stripes.
Do you plan on using both quarterbacks again like you have in the past?
Well, you know, the situation would have to dictate that would be the case. If Gary's doing well, then I certainly probably would not take him out. If he's struggling, then we certainly would want to give Russ Harvey an opportunity. We probably will look, though, at you know, 3 or 4 different tailbacks in this game. Because we feel like we have some younger tailbacks that maybe deserve an opportunity to see what they can do. And we'll just have to see. If either Chuck Mosley or Trevor Pavich would get hot, then we won't play as many. But if they struggle and are not able to maybe come up with the kind of runs that we think they ought to have, then we'll probably go with some other people.
You mentioned some of those younger players. At this point in the year, do you start looking at some younger players for the next couple of years?
Well, only in the sense that if you had somebody that was really playing poorly, John, I've never been one to believe that you take your seniors who've been in your program for 4 or 5 years and say, okay, we're struggling, we're not going to play you guys anymore. I don't think that's right. I think you have to have some loyalty to them. They have a lot of loyalty to the program, and as long as they're playing hard and doing the best that they can, then they'll play. They may have somebody alternating with them, but we would never just say you're not going to play anymore. I don't think that's right.
Something else I've been hearing a lot about, Kearney still has that chance for the winning season. I'm sure that adds a lot of motivation to the team.
Well, it really does, and it's, you know, it's a big goal for us at this point in time. It's the only goal that we have to shoot for, other than I think the one goal that ought to stand out for every individual player, regardless of your record, is to play as well as you're capable of playing. I don't really think that whether you've won them all or whether you've lost them all, that you should ever lose sight of that goal. But at this point in time, team-wise, the goal of a winning season is uppermost in our minds, and we're going to try as hard as we can to achieve that.
Now we have the chance, maybe we could look at some of the other conference schools, what they've been doing.
Well, of course, Pittsburgh's still riding high. They're #2 in the nation behind Central Arkansas. Central Arkansas is a team that we will play in 1989. They'll come to Kearney State. They're great, by the way. but Pittsburgh's doing super, and this week, Washburn, who is still undefeated in the conference, and Emporia, who's undefeated in the conference, they square off in a game at Washburn. So one of those teams is going to have one loss when it's all said and done. And it looks like, you know, it could come down to the final game of the season, November 12th, between Pittsburgh and Emporia as to who's going to win the conference championship, should Emporia beat Washburn. And, you know, I think that they should, but it doesn't mean that they will, because Washburn's a good football team.
You mentioned all those national rankings. That speaks very well for this conference.
Well, it does, because, you know, Emporia is up there, I think, 4th or 5th or something like that, and I think Washburn's even in the top 10 at this point in time. So 3 of our teams are in the top 10, and it's unfortunate that the conference is going to disband because it's a great football conference.
Well, with that in mind, Coach, we're out of time right now. Hope you can be back with us next week for our next episode. Thanks for tuning in.
That's the Lady Loper volleyball team hosting an NAIA District 11 playoff game at 7.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Foster Field on the campus of Kearney State College, where today a CSIC battle will take place between the Missouri Western State College Griffins and the Kearney State Antelopes. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to KSTV broadcast of Kearney State football. I'm Troy Berryman, along with my partner today, Steve Crawford, cameraman Brian Ganuzzi, and technical director Brian Vodenall. We welcome you to the 9th game of Kearney State football. The Lopers are 3-5 on the year. Today they face the 4-4 Missouri Western Griffins. With a little more about the Griffins, here's my partner today, Steve Crawford.
As you said, the Griffins are 4-4 overall. Started off the year 4-0, lost 4 straight. They started off the year by defeating Missouri Rolla 24-6, Benedictine 30-7, Northwest Missouri State 27-26, and Wayne State by 13, 35-22. They lost to Washburn 17-10, Pittsburgh State 42-14, Emporia State 36-27 in an offensive battle, and they lost to Fort Hays last week 22-20. And last year they were 2-8-1, so they're looking to rebound off that.
Kearney State comes into the game 3-5. They also, just like Missouri Western, their last month has been a little tough. They've lost 3 of the 4 games, but like Missouri Western, 3 of the losses have come to some of the top 10 teams in the country. They lost to Pittsburgh State, Emporia State, and Washburn University in the last month. The one game they won out of that was a 38-18 victory over Missouri Southern. Pittsburgh is ranked 2nd, Emporia 4th, and Washburn 8th in the country. So again, the CSIC has got some football teams in the elite in the country.
And if you want to compare scores here, last week, of course, they lost to Fort Hays State 22-20. Kearney defeated Fort Hays 26-13. They led at halftime with that one, 26-0. And Missouri Western played Washburn 17-10, and Kearney was defeated 29-12. So if comparisons are anything, you can make your judgment from that.
Kearney State leads the series 15-3. The Antelopes won last year's game in St. Joseph, 37-0. In fact, Kearney State has won the last 6 games, all the way back into 1981, where they defeated the Griffins 20-19. There you see the captains meeting at midfield. Kearney wins the toss, and Kearney State will decline their choice until halftime. We're about 2.5 minutes away. Steve, last week's loss to Fort Hays has really got to be termed an upset for the Griffins. Missouri Western really thought they would win that game.
Well, that's true. Fort Hays, not a very good team at all. They got pretty much blown out by Kearney except for the second half. The Griffins had an advantage of 309 to 176 in total offense, but turnovers can play a big deal, or penalties and a lot of other things can happen. So you can get upset by a team that you should win.
That's right. Last week, Emporia State blasted Kearney 49-21.
The presentation of the national colors for today's game is...
And in that game, Kearney State was really dominated, out-yarded 530 to 320 yards, and especially on the ground where the Lopers only...
Doug Banks, one real bright spot for Kearney State thus far.
Exactly right. Anytime he drops back in punt return or kickoff return formation, he's a threat to go all the way.
A very big threat. Getting set to kick off here.
Darren Grauholtz will handle the kicking duties today. Grauholtz, number 81, handles the kickoff and extra point as well as place kicking duties. He's also a backup tight end. Back deep for Missouri Western, number 89, Gerald Childs, and number 43, Aaron Strickbine. So on a cold, blustery Saturday, we're underway. Kick's going to be fielded by Childs. He's out trying to get to the 20-yard line, and he's not going to make it, as the Kearney kickoff coverage does a nice job.
Scott Ford in there on the tackle, big center from Westlake, California.
So right away, we'll get a look at the Missouri Western offense. From what we hear, they're going to run out of the veer formation behind their freshman quarterback, Joe Reed, 176-pound freshman.
Loper defense has really got to tighten up. The Griffins run the ball very well, averaging about 235 yards a game.
Griffins come out with 3 wide receivers, but they run the ball on first down, trying the left side. That's Duncan. Daryl Duncan gets about 3 yards before he's thrown backward by number 70, Mike White, with some help from cornerback Kevin Lyons. Checking the Missouri Western offense, as we said, Reed is the quarterback. DeRoyce Thornton, 163-pound sophomore, is the fullback. And Daryl Duncan, a 180-pound freshman, he just carried the ball for about 2 yards. It'll bring up 2nd and 8. Across the front lines, Chris Wright, Keith McVeigh, Heath Gregg. We've heard a lot of good things about him at the center position. Jerry Webb and Mark Ballard are the front guys up front. Big tackles in Ballard and Wright. Back to throw. Pass, short pass complete. Out to about almost the 25-yard line.
Kind of surprising, Missouri Western averaging about 77 yards a game is all through the air. They're mostly a rushing team. Kearney, of course, gave up about 470 yards rushing last week in their loss. So they got to be looking for those backs coming out.
Reed's pass was completed to Rob Vanderlinden, who we have as the backup quarterback, but now is split at the bottom of the screen. Reed drops again. Another little short pass picked off.
Rusty Conrad with the pickoff there.
Conrad slipped down at the 30-yard line, or he might have been off to the races into the end zone. So Conrad does a nice job stepping right in front of Joe Reed's pass, and the first big break of the ball game goes to Kearney State.
Probably not what Missouri Western does at their best. 3 plays, 1 interception off 2 passes.
So Kearney with the first big break of the ball game, 13:42 to go, first quarter. Doug Banks at the bottom of the screen, I formation. Gary Hurt calling the signals. Chohan and Mosley, like we've said all season, are behind him. Mosley gets the call. Trying the middle of the line. He's stacked up after a couple. Take a look at the Kearney State offense across the front line. Scott Biddicombe, Dennis Foss, Dennis Casper, Keith Hauser, and Wade Robinson. The big right side of that Kearney State offensive line, Hauser, 303-pound senior, along with Robinson, a native of Bertrand, over 300 as well. Paul Riley, the tight end, as we see, 2nd and 8, Kearney State at the Missouri Western 28-yard line. Hurt rolls to his left, pass across the middle, intended for Riley, incomplete. Just overthrown.
That's probably one of the keys of the game. Riley is an excellent tight end, a great big target, and they should be looking to him quite a bit because he can really get the big play, get open pretty easily.
Nice coverage there by Paul Rhodes, 6'3", 195-pound senior from McKinney, Iowa. He made sure Riley couldn't get his hands on the ball. Doug Banks is the starting split end, and Scott Meyer gets the nod at slotback over Ryan Siss. Meyer, 202-pound junior, will start today. Split backs now for Kearney. 3rd and 8 situation. Fake draw, Hurt, back to pass, looking across the middle. Bobbled and caught by Riley. But they say he didn't catch, they say it's incomplete.
Couldn't really tell from this angle, of course. He was catching it the opposite direction, but then again, looking for Riley over the middle.
A nice pass from Hurt. Riley just couldn't catch it right away. He had his back to us. We couldn't see if he came down with it or not. The officials right there on the spot said he could not, and Kearney State will have to settle for a chance at 3. Darren Grauerholtz, Russ Harvey will hold. It's going to be a 45-yard attempt. Kick is up. It's long enough. And it's good. Darren Grauerholtz gets Kearney State on the board after Rusty Conrad's interception, and the Lopers take advantage. They lead 3-0 with 12:58 to go, first quarter.
That's exactly what Kearney State needed. Get on the board real quick like, and rather it be a field goal or a touchdown, and they did exactly that. KSTV, Cable USA, and the Kearney State Athletic Department would like to thank the Palm Garden Lounge, El Charro del Norte Restaurant, Misco Sporting Goods, Nick Yeros, and the Platte Valley State Bank and Trust for all their help in bringing you this KSC football game.
Really what Western did not want to happen is for Kearney to get out in front. Western has lost their last 4 games in a row, as we've said. and really wanted, I think, with that first drive to grind out some first downs and get some confidence here on the road in Kearney.
That's exactly true. Going on the road against a traditional power like Kearney, even though they haven't been on the up and up the last couple of years, Kearney State has to get a little momentum out of this field goal.
Childs and Strickbine again deep to receive Grauer-Holtz's kick. He booms one. This is going to be Childs again at his goal line. Brings it out. Again, not bad coverage from Kearney State.
23, Joe Rice, a linebacker. He's a freshman out of Kansas City, getting in there to knock him down.
Childs gets out just ahead of the 20-yard line, which is where Western will start again. Reed, again, the freshman quarterback, might be a little shaken after that early interception. That's Bill Dennis at the bottom of the screen.
Be interesting to see if they go back to the pass or keep it on the ground like they have all year.
They give it up the middle. 3 yards maybe before Mike White, the first Loper there. There you see White coming off the field, and Kurt Metzger, number 99, to replace him.
He gets excited when he gets a good tackle. I tell you, he's jumping around down there. I've seen him a couple of times do that.
That's what Coach Boroff really wants. He wants his team to show a little more emotion and to get a little more fired up on the field. That's one thing. Kearney's been a little blasé.
That's the thing.
At this 3 and 5 year.
That's the thing that wins games is intensity.
Give again. Up the middle. Nice run. First down yardage for Missouri Western.
Dan Gall made the saving tackle. He might have been gone had not Gall been there.
DeRoyce Thornton on the carry. Sophomore. He does get the first down. He's at the 31-yard line. So Missouri Western now, I think, trying to get some momentum here, offensive-wise, as they get their first down of the ball game. First and 10 from the 31-yard line. This time Reed's going to roll. He's looking. He's got some pressure now. Now he's going to run it, and he's tackled out of bounds.
That was run all the way. The receiver who came out, number 6 down there, he just came down and wasn't looking for a pass or anything. He was looking to block the defensive back on the play, and it was supposed to look like a pass, but he was just going to turn the corner and try and get some more yardage.
Dan Gall and Todd Gransky made sure Reed didn't go anywhere. Gransky has really played well the last 3 games. Reed got a couple yards on that play. It brings up 2nd and 8. 2 wide receivers at the top of the screen. Thornton and Duncan in the backfield. Reed back to pass. He's going to go deep. He's got a man wide open, complete, and dropped. Intended for Rob Vanderlinden. Vanderlinden just took his eyes off it. That was touchdown, Steve.
That's got to hurt quite a bit. There was nobody within 10 yards of him, and he could have walked into the end zone had he caught it, but he didn't.
A big, big break for the Kearney State Antelopes as Vanderlinden cannot hang on to the ball. A nice delivery, though, by Reed, the freshman. Showed a lot of touch on that pass.
Excellent throw.
So, 3rd and 8. Kearney State breathes a sigh of relief. Same play. Here comes Gransky from the backside. Sack. And a late flag goes down. Gransky was the first man there, but there's a flag on the play. Jeff Essman also there to help.
Get him by the face mask, maybe?
Absolutely right, Steve. It's a big play for Missouri Western, as it will keep this drive alive.
That really hurts when you 3rd and 8 and you sack the quarterback back behind the line of scrimmage and just grab him by the face mask a little bit, gives the team new life, and they'll get a first down out of this probably.
I think it'll be a 5-yard face mask, but it carries with it an automatic first down. Let's take a look at the Kearney State defense while we sort this out. The starters, Gransky, Scott Yonke, Mike White, and Chuck Acker, although Kurt Metzger, number 99, and Jeff Essman, 88, will see a lot of action at the defensive tackle spots. Bobby Joe Russell, Darren Gunn, and Scott Kovar are the linebackers. The Lopers really have been devastated at the linebacking core, especially 2 weeks ago when they lost Todd Suey, really the heart and soul of the defense.
Bobby Joe Russell, he looks like a player, doesn't he? I mean, I wouldn't want to be down there. He's just a freshman, and he's going to have a long line of tackles by the time he's done here.
Coach Boroff said he is the best prospect he's seen at that position in quite a while. 3rd and 8 from the 32-yard line. Pass again. Reed's done the same play all 3 times. This time it's wide open again, complete across the 50-yard line. And Kearney State's having a hard time covering the pass right now, as that one goes to Mike Collins, backup tight end, 6'3", 230-pound senior.
Dan Gall came over and made the tackle, but it probably was not his man. He's probably the tight end, and I would say that the strong safety, which should have been up there to knock that one away, but there wasn't anybody around.
No, Collins was wide open. So 1st and 10 from the Kearney State 48-yard line. They give up the middle to Thornton. Thornton finds some running room. Almost 10 yards in, close to another 1st down. DeRoyce Thornton, just a sophomore, doing a nice job from his fullback spot. Sophomore from Kansas City, Missouri. He gets 9. It'll bring up 2nd and short.
Missouri Westerns are a very young team. They start 5 freshmen on offense. And that to me is pretty unbelievable. They're moving the ball right now with those freshmen.
Kearney State trying something new this week. They've got 5 down linemen. They give us to Thornton again. This time he's stacked up by the middle of the Kearney State line behind White and looks like Yankee, as well as Bobby Joe Russell getting, AC 56 getting up off the pile. Loper's in that 5-man front. They will have one of their linebackers jump up as a defensive lineman. Usually it's going to be Scott Kovar today. Kovar will get up in a stance, leaving Russell and Gunn as the only 2 linebackers. We'll see if they do it again. So you might want to look at that. And they do. That's Scott Kovar, 58 at the bottom of the screen, acting like a defensive end. Flags fly. He might have too much time here. Illegal procedure on the Griffins. And when you're an inexperienced team like Missouri Western, we might see a few more of those all day, Steve.
Well, that's exactly right. Kearney State can only hope they get 5 or 10 more.
Those are real drive killers, too, as the team starts to threaten. 1 or 2 penalties can really devastate a drive. Dennis and Vanderlinden at the top of the screen. Reed, 3-step drop, looking complete to the 35-yard line.
I'd say they're passing the ball much better than their 77-yard per game average.
But pass was complete to Bill Dennis.
Other than that 1 interception, Reed is throwing the ball extremely well.
Conrad made the tackle, and the Griffins just throwing some short passes, maybe giving Reed a little bit of confidence. That one goes for 4 yards, brings up 2nd and 6. As we see split backs again for Western, that's what we'll see most of the day. Vanderlinden in motion. Option play, pitch, here comes Thornton around the end. He gets a good block, but nice pursuit from the Lopers. As Thornton only can get to about the 32-yard line, we'll have to see where they mark it. A lot of pursuit, especially from 46 Brent Bauer, 56 Bobby Joe Russell, along with the corners, Conrad and Lyons.
Well, you could see the Kearney defense, how they played that. You saw the nose guard smack the fullback and got the defensive end out here who hit the quarterback. So they played it rather well, strung it out, and kept it to a short gain. 3 wideouts now for Western on this 3rd and about 4 play. Vanderlinden again all the way across the field in motion. Reed, straight drop now. And he's sacked from behind as another flag goes down. Gransky again. We'll see if this one counts for Big Todd. He's not real happy as he sees the yellow flag. He had 1 sack nullified. This one's going to go on Missouri Western. As you see, the referee's talking it over with number 5, Kevin Lyons. Probably a holding of some sort.
Again, you're absolutely right. It's declined. Gransky's sack will stand, and Missouri Western will be forced to punt. The sack took them back to the 40-yard line, which is out of the range of kicker Bill Wolf.
Dangerous returner Doug Banks back for the Lopers.
This is Wade Weiss, the punter, who had some problems last week against Fort Hays. This time he goes for the sideline. Can't cut it quite enough, and the Lopers will take over at their own 20-yard line. Last week against Fort Hays, the punting game really was the downfall of Western, as they had 1 blocked and 1 only traveled to their own 23-yard line.
This game has been brought to you in part by the Fireside Inn, Molly's Motor Works, and Frontier Liquor, Bogart's Supermarket, Copperfields, and Ellen-J's Home and Appliance Center. KSTV, Cable USA, and the Kearney State Athletic Department would like to thank these businesses for their support.
So Kearney State starts again, their second offensive possession. Couldn't do much the first time, although the defense got them in real good position, and they salvaged a field goal. Pitch to Mosley, trying the right side. He's got a little room. And Chuck Mosley gets out across the 25-yard line before he's upended by number 16, Paul Rhodes, the free safety.
Coming up there, getting a nice hit.
Ball out to the 26-yard line. Second.
Mosley gets 6 on the play, brings up 2nd and 4. Banks goes to the bottom of the screen, I formation Lopers again. Western in their 5-2 defensive set. Brian Siss in motion. He gives to Mosley again, looking for first down yardage. Fumble! Recovered by Western. Mosley just had it stripped out of his arm, Steve.
Looked to me like number 52, Barry Wagner, the big defensive end out of Mesa, Arizona, got his hand in there, just ripped it out and knocked it forward.
Ian Marcus, number 44, cornerback, fell on the ball at the Kearney State 33-yard line, so another big break as the Kearney State defense is late getting out onto the field. Let's see if Western snaps it, and they can't take advantage.
They tried a little bit too hard to get that play off before the Loper defense got out there, and it kind of come back and hit them in the face.
Absolutely right, Steve.
Illegal motion.
Trying to take advantage, like a good team will. So the Lopers get a break. I guess they get a break from doing something wrong, Steve. They had some trouble getting out on the field.
Well, that's good when you can do something wrong and get a break. Well, you've got some
right.
things going for you at least. Although that fumble was not a break.
That's right. A nice strip job there by the Western defense. And they've got their first big break of the game. Vanderlyn in motion. Option play again to the right side. This is Thornton, who's we've seen a lot. Thornton has showed us some speed, not the typical big blocking fullback you might see.
Pushed out of bounds.
Well, of course, they're missing their top rusher, Steve Sullivan, so that's got to hurt a lot. He had over 800 yards rushing, and other than that, you know, it drops off quite a bit. The next leading rusher only had like 250 yards coming into the game, so they've really got to look for someone to stand out for Western.
2 yards for Thornton, brings up 2nd and 13. This time they give number 34 up the middle. That is Steve Sullivan, who
made the trip.
Yeah, apparently he's here because that's him. Sullivan.
Mike White.
I guess my sources aren't very good after all.
We were told he wasn't going to make the trip, but there he is. Steve Sullivan, averaging almost 6.5 yards a carry. That time only gets 3.
Had 127 last week.
So now Sullivan and Thornton in the backfield. Vanderlyn again all the way across the field, flags down. Reed rolls, throws, and incomplete. Intended for Bill Dennis. We'll check the flag.
Intended for Bill Dennis.
Sullivan didn't start the game. Maybe he was just not started for disciplinary reasons for one reason or another. Not sure, really.
Sullivan's a 192-pound junior. The legal procedure against Missouri Western.
That's the third one this first quarter.
Declined by the Lopers, of course. That'll bring up 4th down again. So Western can't take advantage of their defense's big break. And this is Weiss again into punt. Good snap. Okay, he's trying to get it into the corner. This time it's a little better kick. He pins the Lopers at their own 9-yard line. So with 6:19 to go, Kearney State leads 3-0, and they will have the ball at their own 9-yard line.
Lopers can put a long drive together here, 91 yards. Their defense is doing quite well to stop the Griffins, help them out a lot into getting their 4th win.
Brett Aerosmith and Trevor Pavich now, new backfield mates behind Gary Hurt. Banks at the top of the screen, two tight ends. Hurt gives to Pavich this time, trying the right side. Breaks one tackle and gets out close to the 15-yard line. So Pavich does a nice job. We'll give him 6 yards, brings up 2nd and 4.
Pavich having a little bit of trouble running this year. He's only averaging about 2.8 yards a carry, but you know, sometimes it's not necessarily the back, it's the circumstances in which he has to carry the ball.
There you see the Loper's offensive unit really needing a win. They need to win their final 3 games to salvage a 6-5 record.
Iowa State 6, Colorado 3.
Fake, here comes Hurt on the rollout, looking across to the sideline, incomplete.
Valine, the intended receiver there, a little bit over his head.
Valine, just a sophomore, he's another speedster. He getting ready for indoor track right after football as we see another flag down.
Looks like it's on the Lopers. They're talking to the Griffins captain over there. Probably on a rollout, some sort of hold again, although don't quote me on it.
Cold, windy day here at Foster Field, as I think we've seen the last short sleeve weather for a while here in Kearney.
I believe so. I'm a little bit chilly. My feet are cold, I'll tell you.
That's right. A 10-yard penalty against the Lopers. I haven't seen an indication yet.
Well, they're not going to tell us.
I'm not going to, so.
Illegal block gone.
Illegal block, the PA announcer tells us. Thank you.
The goal line, 7 yards.
In any event, it'll bring up 2nd and 12. 5:37 to go, first period. Lopers lead 3-0. Valine at the bottom of the screen, Banks at the top. I formation, Kearney State. Trying to spread the Western defense out. Draw play to Pavich. He's got an alley. Pavich across, out close to the 20-yard line, close to a first down.
Good hard running by Pavich. He got about, well, he got the first down, I believe. He got about 12 and a half, and it is a first down.
There go the chains. So the Lopers, with those 2 wideouts, just trying to spread the defense a little bit, allowing Pavich to squirt up the middle for 12 and a first down. Don Lee in the ball game at a tight end spot now. As the Lopers will go with 2 tight ends, Lee and Riley. Banks the lone wideout. Griffins with that tight 5-2. 2 young linebackers. Fullback carries this time. Scott Chohan, Brad Aerosmith. That's Aerosmith on the carry. They both run
Stopped by Tolliver.
They both run about alike. Aerosmith and Chohan both. He got about 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
Anytime you can get 6 yards out of the fullback straight up the middle, you've got things pretty well wide open.
Valine in the corner of your screen. Again, long count by Hurt. Hurt rolls again, looking for Valine. In and out of his hands. Very
Yeah, tough catch, but he could have caught
That's
that.
right. They say if you can get both hands on the ball, you should catch it. As we said, the Griffins linebackers, Bruce Hollowell and Damon Hunter. Hollowell a freshman and Hunter a sophomore. Getting a lot of action. The whole team, like Steve said earlier, is pretty young.
2 freshmen starting on defense.
3rd and 4 for Kearney State. Pitch play to Pavich, run behind that big right side. And I think he's short. Pavich running behind Hauser and Robinson, like Kearney State likes to do on short yardage situations.
Strip line on the stop.
Neither team so far has moved the ball whatsoever.
Not
Kearney
really.
got the big break on the interception at their own end and got the field goal, but other than that, there hasn't been much.
4th and a yard, Kearney State split in Doug Banks to kick, averaging 38 yards a kick. Lots of movement at the line of scrimmage, and a flag finally comes down. Here's the call. Legal procedure on Kearney.
KSTV will broadcast this game between Kearney and Missouri Western this Thursday at 7:30 p.m. on cable channel 25.
So Banks off to back up 5 yards and try it again.
According to the statistics, Childs hasn't returned a punt yet this year. He's, of course, returned kickoffs, but hasn't returned a punt yet.
Short kick, but a pretty nice bounce. And a roll dead. Scott Meyer downs it at the 33-yard line.
Rolls dead at the 33-yard line. First and 10, Missouri.
So a 42-yard punt for Doug Banks. And the Griffins take over with 3:11 to go, first quarter. They trail 3-0. And we'll see if Sullivan is in there.
No, don't believe so.
Don't believe so either. Looks like it's Duncan and Thornton again in the backfield behind freshman Joe Reed. Option, Reed keeps it, and he's met at the line of scrimmage and dropped.
Reed on the carry. Stopped by Russell.
There you see Bobby Russell and Todd Gransky helping Joe Reed up.
Played that quite well, his responsibility, and he stopped the quarterback right in his tracks.
Like we said, the coaching staff's really high on Bobby Russell. He's a freshman, true freshman from Temple, Texas. 6'2", 224-pounder who can really run. 2nd and 9 now. Option again, fumble on the play. Nice penetration from Kearney State. The ball still loose. I believe the Lopers have it. They do.
Brent Bauer made that happen out of Kennesaw. Made great penetration. Hit the quarterback just as he was going to pitch it. And Kearney State ends up with the football.
That's just a perfect play from Bauer, who put lots of pressure on the quarterback, made him make a bad pitch. And then it looked like 30 Daryl Duncan would fall on the ball. But Duncan had problems recovering it. And the Lopers now have it.
There's a motion penalty there on the Griffins. Of course, Kearney State declines it. First down, Kearney at the 26.
So again, the defense comes through with another big play. And this time we'll see if the offense can capitalize by pushing the ball in the end zone. The defensive line really having its way with the Missouri Western offensive line.
Well, last year, of course, Kearney State rolled up about 470 yards. Western got a meager 170, so.
There you see Paul Riley out of the blocks a little early, and that's what we're talking about. When an inconsistent team like Kearney State gets the ball deep in an opponent's territory, all year it's been get the ball down to about the 20-yard line and then just make mental mistakes and push yourselves out of scoring range.
He just wanted another chance of catching a pass out there.
So, another mistake puts the Lopers in a 1st and 15 situation. Looks like Aerosmith and Pavich are still the running backs. And that's Valine in motion. Reverse, here comes Valine. Valine makes a nice cut, and he's going to score. Valine made one-man miss on a nice juke. 16, Paul Rhodes, free safety. Looked like he had a good shot at Valine. And the next thing Rhodes knew, he was grabbing a couple of fistfuls of air, and Valine was in the end zone.
Keith Hauser, a 6'2", 303-pound senior out there, and got a great block to spring Valine in for the touchdown.
Nice play from Valine. He went in motion all the way across the field, and then as the ball was snapped, he came back the other way. The offense did a nice job of faking up the middle of Aerosmith, as you see. Grauholtz's extra point, good. And with 2:19 to go, Kearney State uses a bit of trickery to go ahead 10-0.
Hey, don't miss the Claire Boroff show every Sunday at 4:30 p.m. and Thursday at 7 at night. Coach Boroff and the KSTV staff take an in-depth look at the ins and outs of KSC football. And the way this one's going, they'll have a nice one. The Claire Boroff show is every Sunday at 4:30 and Thursday at 7 o'clock.
Well, the Griffins now finding themselves in a bit of a hole here, down 10-0. Still early. We've got 2:19 to go, first period. And the Griffins have shown they can move the ball. Although the interception and fumble have set up Kearney State scores.
Well, it would be a different ball game had that pass not been dropped on that bomb, because he surely would have scored. And so that has to be the biggest break of the game so far.
Yes, if Van der Leeuwen could have caught that ball, that would have been an 80-yard touchdown. And the score now would be 10-7. However, what ifs and things
what
like
not
that,
ifs.
they don't really count.
No, they don't.
Here's Childs again at his own 5-yard line, trying to make something happen. Just plows right up the middle as a flag flies in.
Probably an illegal block below the waist.
Childs got out to the 25-yard line. We'll see what the deal is.
Missouri 3, Nebraska nothing.
Face mask on Kearney.
So it looks like Missouri Western will have pretty good field position again.
Roberts on that stop.
I don't know if it's the 5 kind or the 15.
Yeah, the 5-yard face mask only broke his neck a little bit, I guess, as opposed to the
5-yard.
5-yarder.
5-yard penalty against Kearney, inadvertent face mask penalty. First and 10.
So Joe Reed, the freshman, has had a bit of a problem on 2 specific plays. He fired an interception early, and then some great pursuit from Brent Bauer forced a bad pitch. Kearney State takes advantage of that. They lead 10-0 now. But Western has the ball 1st and 10, and another flag goes down, and that's going to be on Gransky. Kearney State having some problems with the snap count.
So far, Kearney State's defensive line has done a lot to mix up and screw up what Western's trying to get accomplished with their veer offense. That's a much improvement over last week when they were pretty maligned.
That's right. The Emporia State offensive line really manhandled the Kearney State defensive front.
5 yards. Moves the ball out.
Let's not call it manhandle. How about trick them? Right?
Okay. it just tricked them. The defense, as we said, going with that 5-man front with the linebacker Kovar at the top of the screen in a stance. 5-2 alignment. Option again, reads back to pass. He's got another man open, and it's knocked away. Oh, here comes a flag.
Yeah, it looked like interference to me. It looked to me like he hit him in the back before the ball got there. And I believe that's a pretty good call. I got some yells from the crowd saying boo, boo, but I
intended for Gerald Childs. It was a close call. The official came from the other side, made no hesitation about it. He threw the flag right away.
Pass interference.
That's what it'll be.
Foul against Lyons.
The penalty goes on Kevin Lyons. He's going to come over to the sideline and chat about it with the defensive coaches. He doesn't think he did anything wrong.
real surprised how much Western is throwing the ball. They probably figure that Kearney would think they would come in and run the ball all over them, and they've surprised them a little bit. They've thrown 8, 9, 10 times already.
I think without Sullivan, Western really wants to open it up a little more. If Sullivan was in there, I think we'd see the ball in his hands a lot. Ball right at midfield now, 1st and 10 for Missouri Western. Again, Reed back to pass. 2 receivers in the pattern. He's got one of them open. Knocked away this time.
Nice play.
Nice play by Scott Baker. Timed it really very well. Intended for Chris Kanlakos.
Had the ball been there just a little bit earlier, it would have been a completion had he caught it. But the way it was, he let Baker gain some ground and knocked the ball away.
Baker did a nice job coming up over the top, not touching the receiver, and knocking the ball away. 2nd down and 10 now.
Once again, a nice throw by the freshman.
LeRon Moore at the top of the screen in the slot. Option again. Reed keeps it. Gets out. Does a nice job. Carries a defender with him.
Showing some power out there.
Gets to about the 43-yard line. He carried number 11, Dan Gall. Gall hit him a pretty good lick at the 45, and Reed struggled forward for a couple more yards.
2nd and 4, the ball at the 40.
He gets 6. That'll bring up a 3rd and about 4.
Now notice Western's running to the left. I haven't seen him run an option to the right yet, and that might be because they've got 2 freshmen on the right side of this offensive line, the guard and tackle.
Plus, it's not a bad.
Well, what do you know?
Here they come. Nice run by Reed. He gets the first down.
Deja vu.
And just as we say that,
Reed on the carry.
Reed scrambles for about 7 more yards.
36 yards.
I was just going to say, it's not a bad idea to run behind Chris Wright, 297-pound senior offensive tackle. And that time they ran right around another big tackle, Mark Ballard, a 285-pound freshman. So the tackles are big for Missouri Western, and the center relatively small, Heath Gregg, only 239 pounds. He's a sophomore. 1st and 10. As you see Monroe go in motion. Again, Reed wants to throw out in the flat. Incomplete. Intended for Thornton. He wasn't even looking for the ball yet.
Covered there pretty good by Darren Gunn, linebacker from Kearney. He really didn't need the cover because the ball was behind him, but he was right with him.
There you see the Griffins of Missouri Western made the trip from St. Joseph, Missouri into Kearney with their 4-4 record, just 1-4 in the CSIC, but they've played the 3 toughest teams in the conference already. They see Monroe in motion to the top of the screen. Draw play, it works. Thornton struggles. Looked like he had a big hole there at first, but it shut down in a hurry.
Yeah, didn't get as much as he had hoped for. He saw that opening up there, and he was thinking touchdown, dollar signs, and he didn't get but 5 yards or so.
Gunn and Russell, the 2 young linebackers, teamed up to make the stop. So here's a big 3rd and 5 play for Western. I think they're just out of the field goal range of Wolf, and I'm sure they'd like a first down to keep their drive alive as the quarter ends. So after one complete period of play, Kearney State leads 10-0. The defensive setup has set up both scores with an interception and a fumble, and the offense has taken advantage.
When you're not watching KSTV, be sure to tune your radio to 91 Kick FM and listen to KSCV. KSCV features area news, weather, sports, and an interesting blend of contemporary music with some jazz, new age, and fusion. That's KSCV 91.3 on your FM dial.
So here we have a big 3rd and 5 play for Missouri Western. Monroe in motion. And the handoff right up the middle to Thornton. He struggles, but I think he's going to be short.
Big Bobby Joe at the bottom of that pile once again.
And I think if you're a Missouri Western, you want to go for this, don't you, Steve? 4th and 1. Fourth and a long one.
They've got a pretty decent kicker. But I think I would go for it if I was a coach.
I saw somebody come into the ball game, and that's 34 Steve Sullivan.
We're not going to let you play most of the game, but when we need you.
When we need you, we'll let you play.
That's right.
Steve Sullivan in the ball game. I bet he gets the call right here.
Either that or he's a decoy. He's going to get.
No, reverse. Here comes Monroe, but he fumbles it.
Kearney State read that perfectly. Gransky out there, got penetration, and nothing doing.
There you see 84 Chuck Acker up with the ball. Kearney State did play that real well. They did use Sullivan as a decoy, and then Monroe could not handle the pitch from quarterback Joe Reed. Kearney State takes over on downs at their own 33-yard line. So the defense again stiffens and dodges another bullet.
Kearney's playing extremely well so far in this first half of football.
Meyer in the slot. Shohan and Mosley. This is Shohan. He's stacked up early. Shohan driven backwards. Big number 95. Mark Tolliver, 6'2", 226-pound senior. Looks like he's a little heavier than 226 to me.
He does, if he's 226 pounds, huh?
He's strong. He picked up Shohan and put him on his back. Also there to help was number 52, Barry Wagner. Defensive end, one of the leaders on the defensive side of the ball. Shohan lost about a half yard. 2nd and a long 10. Pitch this time to Mosley. Mosley can't go anywhere. So the Griffins pretty fired up here on defense.
Whole side of that right line at the top of your screen was over there, had good pursuit. and they knocked him down for probably just a short gain, 1 yard or so.
That's right. Tolliver and Strickbine, defensive end. Strickbine playing defensive end, just 187 pounds. Also, their Damon Hunter came up from his linebacking spot. Mosley got back that half-yard Shohan had lost, so we're here 3rd and 10. So that's Valine in motion. Play action pass, throw out in the flat, complete to Riley, trying to get to the first down. He stretches and got it.
That's the good thing about having a great big tight end like Paul O'Reilly. He can catch the ball, and you better look out once he gets it.
Tackle made by linebacker Chris Juergens. But not before, like Mr. Crawford said, the Lopers get another first down. Keep their drive alive here with 12:37 and counting to go. First half, they lead 10-0, trying to get some more points on the scoreboard. 2 tight ends for Kearney. Give to Mosley, straight up the middle. Not a whole lot of yards there for Chuck Mosley. He ground out a couple.
So far in the first half here, it's been their best half of football since the Fort Hays game, in which they jumped out to a 26-0 lead. Didn't score in the second half. We'll see how they do against Western.
Again, Wagner and Tolliver, the last 2 guys up off the ground. Reverse, here comes Meyer, gets a nice kick-out block. Wade Robinson and number 61, Dennis Foss. Foss really made a nice kick-out block, and Meyer did a nice job cutting behind the block.
Yeah, that was a nice little spin move by Meyer. Got him another 5 yards or so to get the first down.
So the Lopers run that little reverse play again as the clock runs with 11.5 minutes to go, first half. Lopers have the ball and the lead. They'll put the ball into play 1st and 10 from the Missouri Western 44-yard line. Goes strong to the short side of the field. Now there goes Valine in motion. Roll again to his left. Across the middle, complete, nice throw. From
Paul
Gary Hurt to
Riley.
Paul Riley.
Once again.
Hurt really zipped that ball. Quick release from fifth-year senior Gary Hurt.
Riley, an excellent receiver. Big fella. I wouldn't be surprised if a few pro teams offering for a tryout as a free agent.
Riley, of course, missed the first 3 games of the year with a bad shin. Now back into the ball game. 2 weeks ago, caught 2 touchdowns, including a 52-yarder. He lumbered all the way to the end zone. He got 12 that time, enough for a first down. Pitch might be a reverse again. Here comes Banks. Good block! And here comes Banks trying to get around the corner. He only gets a couple yards. But
He's
Scott
hurt.
Biddicombe laid his man out. And those are the kind of blocks you really love when you're an offensive lineman. There's nothing cheap or dirty about that.
Mark Tolliver down on the ground.
That's a clean hit, but when you're an offensive lineman, your mouth just starts to water.
High. That's right.
We got to hope he's all
Running
right.
down his chin.
We're hoping he's all right. And usually he just lost his
Yeah.
breath. That's what
I just think he got dinged a little bit.
Because I've been on the receiving end of a couple of those, but I've also given some.
Yeah.
And it's just the best feeling
Your
you have as a
your
football.
head goes when something like that
They
happens.
can't, the lineman can't carry the ball. So when they get something like that,
That's
they have
right.
to take advantage.
Yeah, he'll be okay.
Yeah. That's Mark Tolliver, 226-pound senior. Very good player for the defense, and I'm sure we'll see him again. And after all that, Kearney State only managed to get 2 yards on the play. So a 2nd and 8. Second and 8. Straight drop this time. Now Hurt decides to roll to his right. Looking across the middle. Lobs it up.
Got him.
Intended for Banks. Complete.
Touchdown.
Banks. Touchdown, Kearney. Nice play. 30-yard scoring strike from Hurt to Banks.
Hurt dropped back, didn't see anybody, rolled out right, found Banks over the middle. Banks made an excellent catch, and danced into the end zone.
Just a pretty play that time, all the way around. Kearney State earned that touchdown.
Indeed.
10 points before were set up by the defense. This time Kearney moved the ball real well. Here's Garholtz to attempt the extra point. High snap, they're going to fake it.
He can get in there. He can. If he.
Harvey trying to get in there. He stretches.
He
doesn't get it. I don't know if that was
pretty close.
The snap was high. I'm not sure if that was planned or not.
I don't think it was. He didn't have anybody out there to throw to.
I don't think it was either. He just decided he couldn't get it down for Garholtz and ran. He got close. That was backup quarterback Russ Harvey, sophomore from Grand Island, who is going to be a good quarterback prospect.
That's right. Nevertheless, excellent throw and catch and touchdown there for the Lopers. Hey, every Wednesday at 7, KSTV News Magazine will inform you on the latest happenings in the Kearney community and on the campus. That's KSTV News Magazine every Wednesday at 7 o'clock p.m. that is.
10:24 to go, first half. Troy Berryman along with Steve Crawford and cameraman Brian Ganuzzi as we bring you Kearney State football. As we have all year, we've enjoyed bringing it to you. And don't forget, the Lopers do have 2 more games after this. Next week they travel to Wayne State before returning home on the final Saturday of the Kearney football season as they host Minnesota Morris here at Foster Field. High kick by Grauerholtz. Taken at the 11-yard line. Looking for some running room, and he can't find any. Defensive back Strickbine. Brent Burr, sophomore from Gibbon, Nebraska, made the tackle. Burr, an excellent defensive back prospect.
Griffin's got to get something going here. They could be in for a real long afternoon. They've thrown the ball a little bit, and they've run the ball a little bit, had a little bit of success on each one, but ultimately, turnovers and penalties have hurt them.
Greg Ash into the ballgame, replacing Scott Kovar. Kovar has been injured all week, and Ash is in to replace him now. As we see Thornton trying to get around the end, and he can't.
Gransky on his back once again.
Gransky has, the last month, Todd Gransky has really played well, especially in the absence of Todd Suey.
Yeah,
Gransky has come
excellent
forward.
Defensive player.
Thornton got 2. And to bring up 2nd and 8 as we see Vanderlinden at the bottom of the screen. Option again. Reese still got the ball, trying to get to the corner. Gets that across the 25-yard line before he's dragged down.
Got about 6 or 7 on the play.
Gall and Baker, the safeties, drug Reed down, but Reed runs pretty tough for a quarterback.
Yeah, he does. Kind of like you see Jamel Holloway of Oklahoma, little bitty guy, but you hit him and he keeps dragging you forward. He's only about 170 pounds. Reed is.
And just a freshman also.
Maybe he's still playing in high school. He thinks that he can run over everybody.
I like to see that. He's not running out of bounds. He's not sliding on his butt or anything like that. He's taking the defender's head on. This time he's going to run the opposite way. He's going to keep it again. He's got the first down. And again, he drags Gall another couple of yards.
Reed on the carry, stopped by Gall.
So Reed carries twice and gets enough for the first down. Western with 8:55 to go here, first half, really needs to get some points on the board on this drive to curb some of Kearney State's momentum and get a little of their own started going into the halftime intermission. 2 wideouts at the bottom of the screen. Against split backs. Option again, the give is to Thornton, who busts forward for about 4.
Gransky once again got the ankles down there, yanked him down. He's got several tackles already.
Here comes defensive changes for Kearney State. Essman and White replace Yonke and Metzger at the tackles.
Played basketball against Essman. He was a big boy in there. He took off a lot of space.
He's a all-sports star at Thedford High School. Thornton again looking for some room but can't find any. The Kearney State defensive line doing a nice job stacking up the middle. And then the linebackers Gunn along with Russell and 97 Greg Ash doing a nice job cleaning up. Thornton got about 3, and it brings up 3rd and a long 2. Vanderlinden in the corner of your screen. Option again. Here comes Reed. He cuts it up, and it's stacked up. Nice pursuit. Bobby Joe Russell and Jeff Essman.
Jeff Essman, the primary tackler there, throw him down.
Reed thought he saw a opening and tried to cut back, but Essman was right in his face.
Despite the Griffins' 4-4 record, they've been ranked in the NAIA top 25 6 of the 7 weeks that they've had the rankings.
Well, three of their losses have been, like we said, to 3 of the top 10 teams in the nation.
Yeah, they played a tough schedule, as has Kearney.
That's right.
Kearney plays a very tough schedule.
Here's Banks trying to get down the sideline. Now he's got some room. He cuts back, 1 man to beat, and he's dragged down by that man. And that is number 11, Joe Reed, the quarterback. So Reed does a little bit of everything. He's even on the punt return, the punt coverage team. And if it wasn't for him, that's 6 points for Doug Banks.
Excellent return by Banks. If he could have got a couple more blocks out there in front, he would have been gone because he really wanted the end zone on that one.
42 yards on that punt return. Sis is in the slot. Aerosmith and Pavich. This is Pavich. Struggles for about 3.
Stopped by John Cruz.
John Cruz there to make the stop.
Well, it's a touchdown here. They can pound at least 1 nail into the coffin.
That's right. They can go up by 20 points. 7 would make it 23-0.
Not to say the Western can't pound it back out.
That's
but,
right. Because Western has been an explosive team. But if the Lopers get 7 here, it would make a pretty confident Claire Boroff going into the locker room. Here comes another reverse. Yes.
Yeah,
Off flea flicker. Here's Hurt. Back
He's
throw.
got a
He's going to
man
go
wide
deep.
open.
Banks is wide open.
Touchdown.
Kearney. The play took a long time to develop, but it ended up with 7 points.
Coach Boroff digging in his bag of tricks this game, and they're all working.
38 yards. Hurt to Banks. That's the second time that combination has worked.
Banks was wide open.
That play, it was like, it took a long time to get developed. But Hurt threw a strike to Banks, and Banks made a nice catch in the back of the end zone. 22-0.
That play went so slowly. I was going to say, Pavish, the ball carrier. No, a fake reverse. No, a reverse. No, he throws it back to the quarterback.
You see Grier Holtz's extra point go through. 23-0, Kearney, with 5:54 to go first half. And so far, Coach Claire Boroff has got to be really pleased. His offense looks to be a little more consistent, and his defense has played really very well. Now the Griffins are in a bit of a hole. They trail 23-0, and they absolutely need some points before halftime.
Lopers they've definitely come to work today. 23-0, the second quarter. You're watching KSTV, cable channel 25 in Kearney, Nebraska. This broadcast is produced by students in the broadcasting department at Kearney State College.
There you see the Lopers in their stances ready to cover this kick. Childs and Strickbine again deep. Low line drive kick. Taken by Washington. He gets out close to the 35-yard line.
He kicked the top of that football because it got about 4 feet off the ground, took a nosedive and bounced back up a little bit. Not exactly what he wanted.
So again, the Griffins do have pretty fair field position as they start from their own 35-yard line.
35, first and 10, Western.
Scott Kovar back into the ball game at his linebacking slash defensive end spot. This is Thornton up the middle, bust up close for about 2 or 3 yards.
Big Mike White. The top, the bottom, and all around that play.
Scott Yonke also getting up off the bottom of the pile. Also into the ballgame, number 40, Troy Schubert, at a linebacking spot. So looks like Darren Gunn and Greg Ash getting a bit of a breather. Bobby Joe Russell still in there with Schubert, and Kovar's up on the line of scrimmage. Reed back to pass. Looking across the field, he's got his man complete to the tight end. A nice play again to Collins. Mike Collins caught a pass exactly like that earlier in the first period.
Kevin Lyons had the coverage there. He made the tackle.
Reed just rolls one way, and Collins just sneaks out from his tight end position into an open spot across the field.
They only sent 2 receivers out that time, so if he hasn't got a guy open,
that's right,
he's in some trouble.
Reed just clamped on the brakes and threw it way back across the field. Give again, option this time. Fumble on the play. Kearney State's got it again.
Nothing can go wrong for Kearney State so far this game, other than a fumble, but it didn't matter.
No, Gransky this time came up with it again. As Reed kept it on the option play, I thought Thornton had it. The fake to Thornton up the middle. Reed kept it, but fumbled it. And
Lopers.
Todd Gransky, the junior from Beaver, crossing Nebraska, came up with it.
Lopers are having fun out there now. Whooping it up, jumping up and down. Offense has been meeting with Coach Boroff, and they're all set for another Halloween trick.
Shohan and Mosley behind Gary Hurt, as the Lopers set up 1st and 10 at their own 44-yard line. Give again up the middle to Shohan.
Johan on the carry.
I don't think Shohan sees anything but green when he runs.
No, he looks,
Looks straight down at the ground.
Well, you're supposed to keep your head up, but, he keeps his head down to smack the nose guard, then the defensive tackle, then the linebacker, and then he sees grass right there.
He does a pretty good job. He picks up 5 on the play.
Yeah, he's a real tough runner inside.
So here's Kearney now faced with a 2nd and 5 situation. I formation Sis in the slot. Banks at the wide receiver. This is Sis across the field in motion. Draw play. Mosley trying to get to the 50-yard line. And he's going to be just a little short of the 50.
Running game slowed down a little bit for Kearney State. The Griffins defense has tightened up a little bit. Other than a couple of trick plays, they've done reasonably well.
There you get a good look at the Kearney State offensive huddle. Next week, the Lopers travel north to Wayne State College, where they will take on the Wayne Wildcats, winless so far this year.
I'd look for Riley here, maybe. Now he's going to throw it to Banks.
Rolls to his right, looks across the middle. Incomplete. Intended for Scott Shohan. Shohan, the ball just went right off Shohan's hands.
Looked to me like they had too many receivers in that area. They had about 3 guys, and sometimes that spells trouble because you've got 3 defenders in that area as well, and sometimes those can be picked off.
So the defense getting ready to go back onto the field. They forced quite a few Missouri Western mistakes, and the offense has capitalized, although they can't hear. The fumble recovered by Gransky goes for naught, and Kearney State will kick it back with 3:21 to go in the first half. Here comes Western trying to block it. Taken by Childs at his own 17-yard line, looking for some help, but he can't find any. And he goes down his own 20-yard line.
I don't know what kind of a dance that was.
He's looking
jumped
for some
on
white
both feet,
jerseys,
turned
and he couldn't
around,
find
and
any.
bammo on his back.
Stopped by John Rose.
So the Griffins take over with 3:12 to go first half at their own 19-yard line. Two wideouts for the Griffins and split backs like we've seen. Reed rolls to his right. It's going to be a run all the way. He's got Thornton out in front to block for him.
Ooh.
And he does a nice job. DeRoyce Thornton made a nice block.
Scott Baker got put on his rear.
Reed picks up. I think he picked up 10 yards. Yes, he did. The chains. There go the chains.
Yeah, that was a run all the way. They've been dropping back and throwing the ball a little bit. That rollout, he had no intention of throwing the ball whatsoever. As good a runner as he is, he just turned it up the field and picked up about 10 yards.
Bill Dennis and Rob Vanderlinden, the receivers at the bottom of your screen. 1st and 10. This time Reed rolls the other way. Now he's going to throw it. That skipped, it looked like. Yes, it did. Intended for Vanderlinden, but the ball took a hop before it got there. Pass goes incomplete.
You students may want to use your set tickets at Barry Sherman's Clothing, Applause Video, and Clothing.
Taking a look at the Kearney State defense, looks pretty much like the starters still in there. The backfield, Conrad, Gall, Baker, and Lyons. The linebackers, Troy Schubert and Bobby Joe Russell. And across the front, looks like Ash, Essman, and White, as we see.
Nothing doing.
The draw play doesn't go anywhere. As Kirk Metzger there to help out.
Yonker down low. Metzger got him high. As soon as he had the ball, he was done.
Gransky, yes, Gransky, Yonke. Looks like Essman and Acker are the front four for Kearney State. 3rd and 9. As we're down inside 2.5 minutes to go, first half. Kearney State leads 23-0. And looking to stop the Griffins here as Reed drops. 2 receivers in the pattern. Complete. Out to the 42-yard line. Complete to Dennis. Clock stops as we move the chains.
Kevin Lyons made the stop there. That's okay. Little short passes there. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in the half.
West just looking for some positives right now to go in and talk about. They'd like to get some points on the board. Reed back again. He's got 3 men in.
He's got
He's
a
going
man.
deep. He's got
Over
a
his
man,
head.
but it's over his head, incomplete. Intended for Kanalakis, excuse me. Sorry, Chris. In any event, it was over his head, and Baker had the coverage. Ball falls incomplete with 1:59 to go. First half brings up 2nd and 10.
To go in the half. Pittsburgh 7, Washburn 0.
Some crucial games in the CSIC this weekend. Pittsburgh and Washburn battling it out probably for the conference championship. As you see Reed trying to cut back inside.
Once again, he drags a couple of people. Picks up about 5 yards.
Looks like Kovar and Gall there to stop Reed. And Gall has been in a lot of plays involving Joe Reed. Number 11 on number 11. They ought to know each other pretty well by the time the game's over.
Sometimes a quarterback like Reed, you see them pulling people around, people on top of him, can't get him down. Sometimes that's the ability to make the person miss his initial contact. And sometimes it's hard to pull a guy down when you don't hit him real hard.
3rd down and 6 as Reed drops to throw. Just one man in the pattern. And it's incomplete. Just sent one man out.
5 Lopers around the receiver there.
Intended for Vanderlinden. And as Steve said, good coverage by a host of Kearney State defensive backs. So here's Weiss into punt again.
Doug Banks looking for another good return. Back for the Lopers.
They're trying to kick it away from Banks, but he fields it at his own 15-yard line and gets to the 20. Tried to make those first couple of guys miss and couldn't.
He's stopped by Cliff Dennis.
Well, the Lopers can just be happy and run out the clock here, or they could go for one more last gasp bomb or something like that, try to get at least a field goal on the board again.
They're going to be moved back by a penalty, illegal use of the hands on Kearney. That will put them deeper into their own territory. And I think with 1:08 to go, Coach Boroff's going to be pretty conservative and just sit on it.
Well, with that penalty, probably so. If your campus or community organization would like an event listed on KSTV's video bulletin board, please call 234-8251. This is a free service provided by KSTV through the Kearney State College. The video bulletin board can be seen on this channel before and after our regular programming. That phone number again, 234-8251.
The penalty puts the Lopers at their own 10-yard line. Two tight ends, Aerosmith and Pavich, are the tailbacks. Pitch to Pavich this time, looking for some room. Cuts back. Now he's going to go all the way across the field and struggles for about 6 yards.
That was a nice effort for 6 yards, that's for sure. Good ability on his part.
Let's see who. Western calls a timeout. They're going to try and look for a turnover or some sort of break. So with 54 seconds to go, Western trying to make something happen. There you see Gary Hurt talking it over with the coaching staff. Hurt, fifth-year senior, who bided his time last year behind Mark Voss, finally getting his chance to play. He started every game but one. At Pittsburgh, he was stricken by the flu, and redshirt sophomore Russ Harvey from Grand Island stepped in and performed very, very well, giving the Lopers a bright spot for next year, as Harvey will be back, along with Chuck Mosley and a host of other people. I think Coach Boroff wants his team to perform well these last 3 games to give him momentum to go into next fall.
54 seconds before halftime. I've got my food ready.
Lopers this time go split backs. Give to Pavich. He's looking for some room. He's got a first down. He gets out across the 25-yard line. Little Trevor Pavich runs real well.
Little trap play, a fake to the fullback going the other way, and Pavich coming back. That play usually works a lot against most teams except the Chicago Bears, who, of course, stuff that rather handily.
So with 37 seconds and counting to go, the Lopers probably will snap it just once more. Long count from Hurt. This time he drops back. Looking across the middle. Goes deep to Esman.
Oh!
Knocked away. Nice play.
Paul Riley.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Paul Riley.
He could have caught it. It was tipped at the last minute by a Western defensive back over there, so it knocked his sense of hand-eye coordination balance off a little bit. Otherwise, he could have got a nice little gain there, and I don't know what kind of speed Riley's got, but he might have gone quite a ways.
I believe it was Jeff Wallace, number 10, the defensive back, that made a very nice play. Nice timing from Wallace to knock that ball away before Riley got his hands on it. And you're right, Steve. Once Riley does get his hands on the ball, he doesn't like to give it up. 17 seconds to go. 2nd and 10 for Kearney State. Pitch to Pavich. The fake reverse. Pavich keeps it and gets to the 30-yard line.
I think that'll do it. Kearney will just let the clock run out. 3 seconds, 2, 1, and it's halftime.
So we've played one half of football on this cold, windy Saturday afternoon, and so far it's been all Kearney State. They lead 23-0 after one half of play. Thank you for watching Kearney State football. We'll be back with the second half right after this.
Incomplete pass. Riley, a screen that could have gone quite a ways. Right now it's 3rd down and 6. The officials talking about something down there. Not quite sure what it is. Yeah, I believe it's the time on the clock. They just are putting time on right now. Put about 8 seconds back on. After that last incompletion, they must not have shut the clock off in time. So it's 3rd down and 6. Loper's looking to get the first down to move on down on their first drive to get some points on the board. Gary Hurt, the quarterback. I formation. Got receivers wide right and left. Straight drop for Hurt. He's got a man. He's got Riley over the middle. And Riley gets it all the way down to the 44-yard line. Once again, Paul Riley, a very good tight end, coming off the line there and makes about his third catch of the game.
Riley did a nice job getting off the line of scrimmage and releasing downfield. The throw wasn't pretty, but it got there. It turned Riley around a little bit, but he was able to make the catch. Damon Hunter, 209-pound linebacker, had the coverage, but Riley had a step on him, and a good throw by Hurt gets the first down.
Shohan and Mosley in the I formation got a slot in motion. Gonna hand the ball off to Mosley on a trap, and he gets pretty decent yardage, about 4 yards down to the 40-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Hunter again there made the tackle. A little late in getting up to meet Mosley, but when he did, he delivered a blow. Hunter drove Mosley back. He came up from his linebacking spot, filled the hole, but Mosley was able to get 5 yards.
Valine into the game, Sis out. Valine at the top of your screen. We got Doug Banks down at the bottom. Got a split backfield.
Western still in that 4-3 defense.
Straight drop for Hurt. A shovel pass, which is incomplete. That's not a fumble because it's a forward pass, even though he doesn't throw it over his shoulder. That was to Mosley, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Quickly, I'd like to remind you that you are watching KSTV, cable channel 25 in Kearney, Nebraska. This broadcast is produced by students in the broadcasting department at Kearney State College.
Scott Meyer now in at a slot. Once again, an I formation. Tight end right. Hurt gonna throw the ball. He's looking for Meyer. He can run the ball and does so and picks up the first down.
Again, Hurt made the decision quickly to run, and helping him out, Dennis Foss and Scott Biddicombe, along with tight end Paul Riley, they escorted him inside the 30, just shy of the 30-yard line, excuse me, but got enough for the first down.
Kearney State doing exactly what they wanted to do to start this second half. March right down the field. They've gone about 60 yards so far. Mosley, the ball carrier, and he's got some room.
Mosley spins and almost broke that arm tackle of Paul Rhodes. Rhodes got an ankle, and Mosley tried to spin by him. Couldn't quite do it, but he does get 11 yards. He's a little disappointed that he didn't go all the way.
Well, he tried a little spin move there. He lost his bounce a little bit. Otherwise, he would have gone all the way, but it was a nice tackle there to stop him short. It'll be first down at the 19-yard line for Kearney State on their first drive of the second half. Gary Hurt barking out the signals. Straight handoff to Shohan, and he stays on his feet for about 4 or 5 yards.
Shohan never seems to go down after that initial contact. He just keeps his legs driving and always almost seems to get at least 4 yards every time he touches the ball.
Shohan, a good tough runner from Palmer.
Got down inside the 15-yard line before being taken down.
Missouri 9, Nebraska nothing.
2nd down and 5 for Kearney State. Converted about 3 times on 3rd down thus far in the second half. Straight handoff to Mosley, who slips, but he does get about 3 yards. We'll be looking at probably about a 3rd down and 2.
Cruz on the stop.
52 Barry Wagner, 6'2", 232-pound senior defensive end. Another one of the leaders on the Western defense.
3rd and 3.
There to make the stop.
Kearney State in their pass offense right now. You've got about 4 receivers plus Shohan in the backfield. No tailback. 2 receivers at the top of your screen. Obvious passing situation, but they run it to Shohan. Kind of a...
Shohan on the carry.
I think he got, no, 4th down.
He's
Wonder if
about
they'll
a
go
half
for
yard
it.
short. And here comes Mosley. They're not gonna settle for 3 here. They're gonna go for it on 4th and short.
More or less a decoy by Coach Boroff by putting on all those receivers looking like they're going to throw it. It didn't work, however, but it is 4th down. One more down to get 1 yard at the 10-yard line for the Lopers. They give it to Shohan, and he's got the 1st down and more. 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. Picked up 5 yards there.
Again, Shohan just shakes that first man off and keeps the legs driving. Gets 4 very tough yards. Sets up the 1st and goal situation. Now the Griffins really trying to look for a break. They need the ball here as we're under 10 minutes to go, 3rd quarter.
Griffins have got to tighten up the chin strap here and hold the Lopers out. There to stay into this ball game. Gary Hurt is going to look to throw. He's got a man, but behind him, Doug Banks in the end zone.
Good coverage on Banks there, 44. Ian Marcus, 5'9", 151-pound senior from Montreal, Canada. Marcus did a nice job of shadowing Banks, making sure Banks didn't use any moves to get past him.
Might have been a little contact, but I think they were within the 5 yards allowed to do that, which made for a nice defensive play, even though the ball was thrown behind Doug Banks. I formation, you got a receiver out wide, Banks in motion, I formation, and Hurt's going to throw it again, and another nice play.
That was almost picked off by Rhodes, the free safety.
Ball intended for Doug Banks. So we're looking at 3rd down and goal from the 6-yard line for Kearney.
Kearney really trying to hit Banks with his 3rd touchdown. He's caught 2 already. He's going to come out now. But Banks has played real well. He has run a couple of reverses, returned a couple punts, caught a couple touchdowns, and he's punted, I believe, 3 times. Doing a little of everything.
Okay, 3rd down. Hurt's going to throw the ball. He's got a man. Oh, nice stick.
That's Rhodes again. 2 good plays in a row by Paul Rhodes. He saved a touchdown right there.
That's number 80, Don Lee, the intended receiver. He's got a few hurt ribs, I believe. I mean, he took quite a shot right to the midsection. If he'd have caught that, would have been a touchdown, but that was a real tough catch with a helmet stuck into your side.
Rhodes, really nice timing there. As soon as Lee touched the ball, Rhodes' shoulder and helmet were into Mr. Don Lee, and Lee could not hold it. Here's Grauholtz in to attempt a 24-yard field goal.
It's good.
It's like he didn't want to use as much energy as...
No, he's a little tired out there. He
kind of pooched it through.
He didn't eat his Wheaties at halftime. I don't know. No, he did hit a 45-yarder earlier that was really nice. So he gets his 2nd field goal of the day. And now he'll kick the ball off.
So 9:06 to go, 3rd quarter. Kearney State expands on its lead. They lead now 26-0. KSTV, Cable USA, and the Kearney State Athletic Department would like to thank the Palm Garden Lounge, El Charro del Norte Restaurant, Visco Sporting Goods, Nick's Euros, and Platte Valley State Bank and Trust for all of their help in bringing you this KSC football game. Also, this game has been brought to you in part by the Fireside Inn, Molly's Motorworks, Frontier Liquor, Bogart Supermarket, Copperfields, and L&J's Home and Appliance Center. KSTV, Cable USA, and the Kearney State Athletic Department would like to thank these businesses for their support.
Darren Grauholtz set to kick the football for the Lopers.
Again, it looks like Strickbine and Childs deep.
Nice high kick.
Taken by one of the upbacks.
Gets out to the 27-yard line where it'll be 1st down and 10 for Missouri Western. Loper defense taken to the field for the first time this half.
Take a look at the Missouri Western offense by quarterback Joe Reed. We saw Steve Sullivan, the leading rusher, on a couple of series in the first half, but he's not in there again.
No, he's not. Just a straight handoff. The running back, he gains only 2 yards.
Again, we'll try and look. Ballard and Wright are the tackles, 2 big tackles. Keith Gregg, number 66, is the center, and McVeigh and Webb, the 2 guards.
Second and 7, ball at the 31.
So the Kearney defense stiff once again on first down. It's second down now, 7 yards. Got split backs for the Griffins. Receivers wide and left. Reed rolls out to throw, and I think he's just going to run it again.
Again, a nice play. Flags fly. I think that's going to go on Dan Gall. Might have grabbed some headgear there, Steve.
Well, Dan's made enough tackles this year. He shouldn't have to do that. Coming into the game, he is the Loper leading tackler with 104. That's a lot of tackles for a free safety to make.
That's right.
But somebody's got to make them, even if it is 7 or 8 yards down the field.
You kind of wonder when your team's leading tackler is the safety.
Yeah.
You kind of wonder how good a year it's been.
Well, you know, Kearney's taken their lumps against the run so far this year, giving up about 190-some yards a game. Today, however, a different story. Holding tough against a run-oriented offense. Got a straight handoff there to the running back, Thornton.
Stopped by Kovar.
Thornton, nice run there, straight up the middle. Scott Kovar dragged him down after about 9 or 10 yards, but he picks up the first down and more. And Western, you know, they're not going to give up. They're marching the ball right now. They've got it on their own 46-yard line, and they're moving.
First down and 10, 42-yard line of the Griffins. Back to throw is Reed. He's got a man.
Oh.
And, well, the ref says thank you.
Rusty
Puts his hat back on. And
Rusty Conrad, I think she'd say, excuse me, sir, as he took out the official. I don't know where he was going.
I don't know what he was trying to do there either. The man was down.
I know.
And I don't know. Maybe he thought he was a convict or something.
The pass was complete for 5 yards. I think Reed really likes those 5 and 6 yard short passes that he can zip out to his wide receivers.
Well, they're real safe, and that way they less chance of being intercepted. Straight handoff there. I think they probably got the first down.
I tell you, Thornton really has come out in this second half and ran very, very well, especially up the middle. The offensive line getting a little better surge at least this series, and kind of knocking the Kearney State defensive line off the ball.
Yeah, in the first half, Thornton carried the ball 11 times for 39 yards to lead the Griffins. And we'll have a measurement. The officials call a timeout. I think, yeah, he's got, boy, that's real close. I think he's got it, though.
I think he's got it, too.
I think he's got it.
We'll have to see. If your campus or community organization would like an event listed on KSTV's video bulletin board, please call 234-8251. This is a free service provided by KSTV through Kearney State College. As you see, the first down.
By the nose of the football. We were right, weren't we?
That's right. He just had it. The video bulletin board can be seen on this channel before and after our regular programming. That's 234-8251.
Okay, the Griffins driving on their first series here in the second half. First down and 10 at the Loper 43-yard line. Back split. Reed, the quarterback, straight handoff. He fakes it, keeps the ball, and he gets good yardage out to the 30-yard line. A gain of 14 yards. And he's run the ball quite well today.
Reed did a nice job. He's running away from us, and he did a nice job faking to Thornton. He established Thornton in giving him the ball and giving him the ball and giving him the ball. And this time he keeps it, and he gets 14 yards. He's down to the Kearney State College 30-yard line.
Yeah, faking can be even better than blocking in some cases. Once again, that same play, only they give it to Thornton for another 5 yards, and Kearney doesn't know who's getting the ball. They're kind of out there scratching their heads on this drive.
Suddenly, Missouri Western is getting 5 and 6 yards every play, and we didn't see that the first half.
Well, we got to hope that Kearney doesn't let down like they did against Fort Hays when they led 26-0 at half and didn't score again, and then allowed 13 points and ended up winning 26-13. Another official timeout. Somebody having some problem with their headgear down there. Now they're set to play once again.
I'm sure head coach Claire Boroff and defensive coordinator Terry Renner don't like what they're seeing right now. They want the Antelopes to come out with some big intensity.
Once again, that same handoff to Thornton, and he moves ahead for 3 more. It'll be a 3rd down and 2. And they're just playing one right after another, faking to him and keeping it and giving it to him and faking it to him, and they're getting right down the field.
Kovar made the tackle there. That brings up an important third down play.
Third and 3 or 4, a long 3. Straight handoff the other way, and well, he fakes it to him, and he gets sacked by Gransky.
Todd Gransky again. Big penetration from his defensive end spot. He just crushed Reed before he could do anything with the ball. He should have handed that one off. I guess it's easy for me to say that because I'm using a little hindsight. But when you're down there on the field, you have to make split-second decisions. Reed just made the wrong one that time.
That's right. He should have handed the ball off.
So 4th and 5, big play here, Steve.
The sparse crowd getting on their horse down here. But Western wants a timeout on 4th down and 5. They're going for it because, of course, they're behind 26-0. A field goal would probably do them no good with 4:24 left in the third quarter.
This is a big play for Missouri Western. I'm sure they want to get some points on the board. And with 7 here, they could make this game competitive again. Every Wednesday at 7 p.m., KSTV News Magazine will inform you on the latest happenings in the Kearney community and on campus. That's KSTV News Magazine every Wednesday at 7 p.m. There you see Joe Reed talking it over with his head coach, trying to decide what they want to do here on this important 4th and 5 possession.
I'd say they're probably going to pop another one of those short passes, either out in the flat or over the middle. They've thrown it all over. They've thrown long and short, and probably a little more than what we thought they would coming into the game.
KSTV will rebroadcast this game between Kearney and Missouri Western this Thursday at 7:30 p.m. on Channel 25.
Big play for the Lopers. 4th and 5. If they can stop them here, that's all she wrote. It's he's going to run the ball. Reed gets the first down.
Good hustle there by Mr. Reed as he got to the corner and dove for the first down.
Once again, that's a run-pass option. If he's got the man wide open, he'll throw the ball. If not, he'll just pull her down and run, and he's a very good runner. Got around there for the first down. It'll be 1st down and 10 at the 19-yard line of Kearney State.
Schubert and Gall got over there to make the tackle, but not before Joe Reed just got enough for the first down.
The only good thing about this drive is it's taking so much time off the clock that, well, we've only got 4 minutes left here in the third quarter. Option play to Thornton, and he scoots around, runs out of bounds at the 15, a gain of 4 yards.
He just really ran out of field there, Steve.
Yeah, he might have scored if the field would be 70 yards wide.
He just wishes he could have a little more field to work with there. He tiptoed down the sideline and just didn't have enough room to operate. He got about 4 yards is all. Brings up a 2nd and 6 play as you see the Western team from St. Joseph, Missouri come to the line of scrimmage. 36 Milton Reed in at one tailback.
Complete from Reed down to number 15 for the Griffins. That is Bill Dennis, a junior.
Dennis made a nice catch there.
He threw the ball all the way across the field. I didn't know he was going to throw it to it. Kept following the ball, and suddenly there were hands there to catch the ball. I thought he might throw it into the end zone.
Importantly, that's only about a 5-yard gain, but enough to give the Griffins a 1st and goal here at the 7-yard line.
That's right. Split backfields for the Griffins. Another option play, and he doesn't go anywhere. Gransky once again
Gransky's got to be making a case for Defensive Player of the Year.
Gransky likes playing the option. He gets to stick the quarterback a few times and rip their head down, and he's having a good time out there.
Loss of a yard. Gransky really has played well. We've said it. I've said it numerous times throughout the afternoon.
Okay, 2nd goal for the Griffins. Wide outs to the left and right, split backfield. Reed, the quarterback for the Griffins. Kearney jumps offside.
It's going to be Mike White, the nose tackle. And that 5-2 alignment, White has moved over the ball.
And here comes Mike out of the game, and he's going to get some chewing on here. Yeah, going to have a chat with one of the defensive coaches there, maybe.
So that'll be half the distance to the goal. The ball will be set down just outside the 3-yard line.
The Kearney State crowd attempting their version of the wave, but I don't know where it went.
It's hard to do away with. Hard to do the way with 12 people here, Steve.
Well, there's a few more than 12. Reed on the option gets down to the 1-yard line, where he's taken down by a host of Lopers. It'll be 2nd down and goal. 2:30 left in the 3rd quarter.
Looks like Gunn and Kovar, the 2 linebackers, came up just shy of the goal line to stop Reed. The ball is inside the 1-yard line, and the Griffins will have 2 shots to get it into the end zone. This is 3rd and goal. Quick count. Might have taken the Lopers
Touchdown.
by surprise, Steve.
Griffins. Thornton carries the load for a lot of the real estate down the field. He gets the touchdown, and the Griffins are on the board. It's 26-6 with the extra point coming up.
Griffins seemed like they just got over the ball, and they snapped it. See if Wolf can get the extra point through the uprights.
Wolf hoping he can convert on this extra point. He'll tie the record of their team for most extra points in a row, and he got it with his 19th extra point in a row. Let's hope he doesn't get his 20th.
If you're a Kearney State fan, you don't want him to get his 20th.
Exactly.
26-7, 2:08 to go here, 3rd quarter. I'm Troy Berryman, along with Steve Crawford, Brian Vodenall, and Brian Ganuzzi, bringing
We're all
you
up
Kearney
here.
State football. We're all up here in the press box, and it's cold.
Griffins getting set to kick. They've got new life. They're behind 26-7. Their first score of the ball game. 2:06 left in the 3rd quarter. About 17 minutes left to play.
What the Griffins really need right now, Steve, is a break. They need to force Kearney State to go 3 downs and out, or they need a turnover.
It's going to come down to Valine. He'll take it at his own 8-yard line, and he gets a little bit of running room. Down to the 38, a nice 30-yard return, where the Lopers will take it 1st and 10 there, try and do something with it.
Kearney 1st and 10 at the 30.
There's the Kearney State offensive unit. You see Hurt, still the quarterback, as they start from their own 38-yard line.
Trevor Pavich now, the tailback in Kearney's I formation, giving Chuck Mosley a rest. Pavich had 43 yards on 7 carries in the first half, and he'll get the ball on a pitch, and he doesn't, well, he gets about 4 yards.
Pavich on the carry.
Nice block in there by Scott Shohan to mow down a guy.
Stopped by Strickbine.
First man there was Jared Strickbine, just a 187-pound defensive end. Strickbine got one arm around Mosley, one arm around Pavich, then tried to use his other arm to strip the ball. As Western knows, they need the ball back.
2nd down and 5 for the Lopers. Got a man at the top of your screen. Got an I formation. Gary Hurt, the quarterback, might be audibling. He's going to throw the football, and he's going to look for Paul Riley, and he's got it for the 1st down. And maybe
flag.
a late hit.
Looks
Late
like
hit on Riley.
That's going to go on D. Brownlee, 5'11", 178-pound cornerback, who hit Riley when he was out of bounds.
I don't think Riley really cared. He said, "Stupid fly, get off me."
Riley got enough for the 1st down, and they might just tack on some more here.
To me, like 15 more. It'll be Loper ball, 1st and 10, 31-yard line of the Griffins. Marching right back down the field after the Griffins took a lot of time off the clock and scored their first touchdown.
Coach got to like to see, the coaching staff has got to like to see this.
2 tight ends for the Lopers, I formation. Got Banks at the slot. Straight handoff to Shohan, and he only gets a yard.
Nice defensive play there by the entire Western defense, shutting down Scott Shohan, that's the first time I've seen him gain less than 4 yards on a carry.
Brett Armstrong, the primary tackler there.
9 at the 30.
But Kearney, after that 7 points scored against them, has come out offensively and ground the ball right back. One thing that they wanted to do was not give Western the ball back right away.
That's right. Kearney's offense and defense, they've both played a good game so far. Kearney had 200 yards at halftime, adding to it right now. Gary Hurt looking to throw, and he's going to try for over the head of Riley.
Almost picked off.
No, it hit the ground.
Yep. Rhodes trying to make a case for himself.
Yeah, Rhodes, he's all wet. He knew he dropped that one.
Got both hands on it, but I think you're right, Steve. I think I did see it hit the ground.
Referee was in perfect position, standing right there, about 5 feet away from him. Being complete, 3rd down and 9. Not a real nice pass by Gary Hurt at all. Clear over the head, if you can do that, over Paul Riley, who stretched up high, batted the ball, and almost intercepted there by Rhodes.
But again, the Lopers had 2 receivers in the same general area. You don't really like to see that.
Okay, 3rd down and 9, I formation. Got Pavich and Shohan. A little screen pass over here to Pavich, and it hits the ground before Pavich can get to it.
Hurt has not been able to throw that screen pass. This time it wasn't quite as nicely set up as it was earlier in the quarter, but Hurt just doesn't throw the ball hard enough to get it across the field.
Well, sometimes the screen pass is a kind of a tough thing to throw because you've got to lead him and get it there at the same time, and sometimes that's harder to throw than it is down the field. For some odd reason, you see that a lot.
The 30-yard line, the Lopers choose to punt it. We'll see if Banks just tries to pooch it and try and drop it inside the 10-yard line.
Lopers could have attempted a field goal, which would have been a 47-yarder, but they must not have felt it had that kind of range. It'll be 1st down and 10, Lopers at the 20-yard line as the punt goes through the end zone.
I think maybe because the Lopers only got a net 10 yards out of it, they kicked it from the 30-yard line.
Yeah.
And Missouri Western's going to start from their own 20. So I thought, why not kick a field goal or go for it on 4th and 9?
Exactly. 10-yard net, that's not going to help his net punting average at all.
That's not. Only 12 seconds to go here, 3rd quarter. Lopers really want to shut down Western right now and not let the Griffins get back on the board.
The veer offense of the Griffins getting set to go. He's going to throw out of it, and he overthrows number 89. That's Gerald Childs from Orlando, Florida.
Baker was there running step for step with him.
Yeah, he was
coverage.
well covered on that play. Bring up 2nd down.
Washington 3, UCLA 3.
Loper offense huddling down below here to see if they can get the kinks out and get into the end zone next series. It's 2nd down and 10. Little option by the quarterback, and he picks up a good 7 yards before being flung to the ground there by a whole bunch of Lopers over there. Nice pursuit on the play.
And that'll do it for the 3rd quarter. And after 3 complete periods of play, Kearney State leads 26-7 and has played very, very well, I think. The coaching staff's got to be pretty happy with that. We've got 1 more quarter to go before we get this one in the books. 50 minutes of hard football, and I know each team wants a good effort in this last quarter, no matter what the score is.
Well, Kearney's got a winning season within sight. I mean,
right.
They're 3-5 right now, but they should win today to make them 4-5. Wayne State not on top of their game.
Not exactly.
5-5 there. And if they could get by Minnesota Morris in the season finale, they could finish 6-5, which would be a good start for next season, in which they're going to have a very tough schedule.
That's right. Coach Boroff told us in the Kearney Hub that a 6-5 season helps winter conditioning, it helps recruiting, and it helps general attitude for next year. A winning season just does that. And 6-5 is not that much different than 5-6.
3rd down play to Thornton, and he gets the 1st down.
Thornton has really run well.
Yeah, he is. He's running real hard. Sullivan's back in there. Maybe that was, excuse me, that was Sullivan on the carry. Now he's going out. One of his few carries.
I don't know. He doesn't seem to be limping or anything.
I don't know. Maybe he got in trouble with the law or something. I don't know. And he's just being held out, except on 3rd down and shorts. Option play by Reed out to Thornton, and he turns the corner, picks up about 5 more.
Thornton almost broke that tackle, and he had clear sailing down the sidelines.
Griffin's turning up that veer option offense of theirs, moving the ball a lot better than in the first half. However, not good enough to do a lot of damage to the Lopers as far as the game outcome goes.
Bobby Joe Russell did a nice job hustling over to the sideline to make the tackle. He's got to come out now.
Looks like
he's limping.
Twisted an ankle or something. Reed's going to throw it. He's got a man over here.
Open again is number 15, Bill Dennis.
First down. Kevin Lyons on the coverage and put him down.
On a few occasions, the Missouri Western offense has made the Kearney State defense just look sick. They have capitalized on some mistakes, and they have had some receivers wide open.
Well, for the most part, though, Kearney's playing the run, and that's what the Griffins primarily do. And sometimes they get caught out of position a little bit on their responsibility against the pass. Got everybody stacked in except a wide receiver at the top. He's going to throw it again. He's having some trouble scrambling around, and he's got no intention of throwing the ball. He picks up 6 yards. That's Reed, the quarterback, the freshman.
He did a nice job of avoiding number 40, Troy Schubert. Schubert had a chance to get him back at the line of scrimmage, and Reed showed some speed and outran Schubert and got down near the first down. He's about 3 yards short, and a ring up second and about 3.
Kind of a strange formation to throw out of. They only had one receiver out, a couple of tight ends in there, and a couple of backs. Only had one receiver out there, but he did manage to scramble and gain 8 yards in 2nd and 2. And Thornton gets the first down. Flag on the play, however.
There's the Kevin Lyons. Number 5, he thinks he knows what the call is. Now we'll see if the referee agrees with him.
His dad's the ref. No. It's going to back the Griffins up, whatever happened. Probably a hold or illegal block of some kind.
Legal procedure was the official indication. Don't forget, next week, the Kearney State Lopers travel north to Wayne, Nebraska, where they'll take on the Wayne Wildcats. If you can't make the trip, tune in next Sunday night at 5 p.m. and see all of the action on a tape-delayed basis on KSTV, cable channel 25.
2nd and 7 for the Griffins. 12.5 minutes left in the game. Option by Reed. He keeps it. And
look at Reed struggle for the first down.
Yeah.
Nice play there by Joe Reed.
He's a nice prospect. They've got just a freshman. He's got 3 more years of eligibility, and the coach has got to be happy with him.
There you get a good look at the 176-pounder. Showing quite a bit of poise as he directs his team in the huddle and on the field.
Up to the line, the Griffins come. Split backfield. Once again, receivers wide left and right. He's going to fake the handoff, and he doesn't get much there.
That time he's
Dan Gall and number 2, Scott Baker, there to put him on his back.
That's one time that Gall got the best of Reed that time. Gall delivered a nice blow, but Reed still did pick up 4 yards.
Yeah.
But really, the clock is the enemy of Missouri Western right now. It's down to 11:45 and counting.
2nd down and 7. In actuality, he didn't get a thing there. Reed, the quarterback for the Griffins. He's going to throw it again. And no, he's going to try and run it again, and he's got nothing. Jeff Essman, the primary tackler there out of Bedford, and he's happy. Look at it. Yeah.
Here's the Essman.
No, you didn't score a touchdown. Nice play there by Jeff Essman.
Kearney State defensive tackles and ends have played pretty well today. And I'm talking about Gransky and Acker and Bauer, the ends, as well as Yankee, Metzger, White, and Essman, the defensive tackles.
Penalty on Kearney, however. They got a holding penalty. I don't know who they were holding, probably a receiver down the field. That's probably why he couldn't get open. I saw over there where they had 2 receivers and 2 defensive backs all bundled together. Somebody must have grabbed a jersey and said, "You're not getting by me." So a break from Missouri Western. First down and 10, 28-yard line of Kearney State, and they're driving for their second touchdown. Kearney's let down a little bit here in the second half, not looking quite as good as the first half. Crowd once again getting into it, beating their feet on the bleachers. Another option play, and that's too bad. Milton Reed, the carry there, and I think that might be his first or second carry, and that didn't go anywhere. He lost probably about 4 yards, 3 or 4.
Great pursuit there by the Kearney defense. It looked like that play, looked like the pitch was a little deep into the backfield, and it allowed the Kearney State defensive pursuit to get there and stop the play for about a 3-yard loss.
Okay, 2nd and 12. Reed's going to throw the football. He's got all kinds of receivers out there. Hits number 81. That's Chris Canalicus.
We're having a heck of a time with that name, aren't we?
Yeah, we'll just call him
it's number 81.
Smith from now on, okay? Once again, moving the ball is Missouri Western. 3rd down and 6. Got a gain of 6 on that throw. Crucial 3rd down play for Missouri Western. There's going to straight handoff.
Nice run there by Thornton.
Thornton once again getting good yardage on the Loper defense down to the 15-yard line. That's a 10-yard gain for Thornton.
Here you get a good shot of Mr. Thornton. Just a sophomore, 163-pounder from Kansas City.
Back up to the line. The Griffins come. First down, 10, option.
Oh, nice stick. Thornton got the ball, and Schubert put him on his back.
He says, "I don't want the ball next time."
Again, Troy Schubert came up from his linebacking spot. Just a perfect tackle. He kept his shoulders square. He hit the man right under the shoulder pads, lifted, and put him on his back.
That is the perfect tackle. Face mask to face mask, chest to chest, and put the guy on his back. So we're looking at a 2nd down and 8. He did pick up 2 yards on the play. Another option to Thornton. He tries to get around the corner, and he does get around the corner down to about the 5 or 6 yard line.
Pretty nice roll block out there, I believe, by number 36, Milton Reed. Reed, his responsibility is to kick out that corner. And he rolled out in front of him, and it allowed Thornton to get around the corner a little bit and pick up some more yardage.
Loper defense really letting down since the first half. This is the 2nd score, if indeed they do get into the end zone, that the Griffins will have. Another straight handoff. Number 36, Milton Reed. They have a lot of trouble getting him down. They finally do, just short of the goal line. It's a 1st down.
Reed looked like he was stopped, and then about 3 of the Western linemen just kind of pushed him forward, trying to get him across that yellow plane. But he's going to be short, but the ball is placed inside the 1 yard line.
Kearney better watch out. If Western gets in there, gets an onside kick, recovers it, they're right back in this football game.
We've still got 8 minutes to go in the ball game, and Kearney State needs to shut Western down now.
Reed straight handoff to Milton Reed. No indication on the touchdown. I thought he might have sneaked in there.
I thought he was in too.
But no, the officials say 2nd down and goal from the 1-inch line.
Mike White, last man up, along with Scott Yonke.
I find it hard to believe that the official can mark it that close to the end zone. Straight handoff once again to Milton Reed. He doesn't get there.
He wasn't even close that time. Gransky was there. He came from the top, but the real heroes are the guys on the bottom that we really can't see. Those guys have to submarine in, and then Gransky and the linebacking crew can come up top and clean up.
Stuck as soon as he got the ball. Loper's looking for a goal line stand here. Now it's 3rd down and goal. Reed brings him up to the line. 1-inch line, that is. Barking out the signal. Split backfield. 2 tight ends. He's going to sneak it in. But there is a flag on the play.
There's a flag on the play.
And did you see the Griffins jump possibly over here, the tight end? Offside, Lopers.
Kearney.
I saw somebody jump. I was hoping it is on the other side, though. So, not much out of our crowd
Nope.
at this
Pretty
moment.
quiet.
26-13. Now Wolf can break his school record of consecutive extra point string. He's kicked 19 in a row, looking for his 20th. And what do we got here? Little swinging gate play or something?
Vanderlinden is the holder. He's the backup quarterback, I believe. He was listed as the backup quarterback.
And it's good.
The point is good.
6:52 left in the game. Loper's still ahead, 26-14. Might look for an onside kick, possibly, by the Griffins. Maybe not. The way the Lopers offense has been not moving up and down the field the second half.
You wonder what a Griffin is? Well, there is a Griffin.
What is that?
I'm still not sure what it is, but there he is. Straight from St. Joseph's, Missouri.
Yellow feathers.
The Missouri Western Griffin. In any event, the Lopers lead by 12, and Missouri Western will need the ball twice in order to score. They're going to need 2 touchdowns to do it.
That Griffin kind of looks like my sister, I think.
They're going to load up the left side of the field.
Yeah, we're
Everybody
looking
over
for a onside kick. Kearney State got all their sure-handed people up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 men up. Got Valine back 10 more yards.
It's like all the receivers and the cornerbacks.
I'd hate to be a Loper out there because they know they're going to get plugged if they catch the ball or not catch the ball, because you've got guys sprinting at them. And here they go. They try the onside, and Doug Banks picks it up. Loper football, 48-yard line.
Might have kicked a little bit hard that time. The ball came up nicely, but the ball just skipped over there a little too soon, and none of the Western players could get over there fast enough. In any event, Kearney State grabs the ball. It'll be their ball at their own 49-yard line, trying to grind out a few first downs, make Western use their timeouts, and get this one in under the W in the win-loss column.
Okay, I formation for Kearney State. They've got a slot right. Banks down low. Fumble snap. However, he gets it to Chuck Mosley, who doesn't get much. He hasn't got much this whole game.
That's right. They really had Mosley's number. I think the first man there was number 97, Damon Hunter. One of the linebackers also there to help. 72, John Cruz, and 52, Barry Wagoner.
In fact, we really, he hasn't even carried the ball but 5 or 6 times. He hasn't got a thing off those 5 or 6 carries. Pavich, on the other hand, has got probably 55, 60 yards so far in this one. Doug Banks in motion. Gary Hurt, the quarterback, hands off to Mosley, and he picks up 3, maybe 4 yards. It'll be 3rd down and long.
This is exactly what Western wants to do. They want to force Kearney to go 3 plays and punt the ball. And Kearney wants to get a couple first downs, keep that clock running. We're down to 5:50 and counting. I'm sure they'll use every tick of that those 45 seconds. Excuse me, 30 seconds. 30 seconds in college football.
Okay, it's 3rd down and 6. Ball on the 43-yard line of the Griffins. Gary Hurt, the quarterback, in an I formation, receivers right and left. Hurt's going to throw the football. He's got Banks over the middle, and it's complete down to the 32-yard line. He had his pick there between Riley or Banks. He had Riley open up at the 40-yard line, decided to hit Banks, who was tackled at the 31 for a Loper first down.
Nice concentration by Banks there. He was hit almost immediately by D. Brownlee while he was in the air, but Banks made sure he hung on to the ball and came down with a Loper first down.
Big play for the Lopers. 1st and 10 at the 31. Mosley, the I-back. 2 tight end formation, probably run the ball. Hand off to Mosley, who gets some good yardage, about 5 or 6. Be 2nd down and about 4.
Here see Chuck Mosley, a sophomore from Tampa, Florida, as he goes back to the huddle. Got a lot of speed. Just 5'9" and about 70 pounds. He's listed at 170.
Mosley and Pavich are a lot alike. They're both about the same size. They both have good moves and good quickness and good speed. Once again, the fullback, Aerosmith, he gets rumbles through the teeth of the Griffin defense, picks up the first down. It's 1st and 10 at the Griffin 17-yard line.
It will be 1st and 10, Kearney.
This is exactly what the Lopers needed to do to take the bite out of the Griffins. 4 minutes left in this one. Gary Hurt, the quarterback. Doug Banks at the top of your screen. Got Meyer, the wingback. It's going to be a reverse to Meyer. And, oh, nice.
Nice run, Scott Meyer, touchdown.
Scott Meyer broke a couple of tackles, scored the touchdown. There's flags on the play, however. It probably went for a knot.
You got to give Meyer a gold star or something for that run. Good effort. He's not going to get 6 out of it because apparently the penalty is on Kearney.
On the other side of the ball, however, you've got coaches that say, bad tackling. What's wrong with you guys?
It's too bad. That going to be holding on Kearney State, which will nullify that nice run by Meyer. He made 2 good moves, and he made one man miss, and he lowered his shoulder, did everything you want to do as a ball carrier.
Still first down, 20 yards to go now for the Lopers. Aerosmith and Mosley in the backfield. Got Valine and Doug Banks, the receivers. They now shift into a split backfield. Gary Hurt, the quarterback, he's going to give it on a draw to Aerosmith, who does his best to keep on his feet after initial contact. Gets down to the 24-yard line, a gain of meager 2 yards after all of that.
Wagner and Chris Juergens were the last man up off the pile, trying to get Aerosmith down and trying to get the ball back for their team.
Minnesota Forest will be here. 1:35